Squirrely Mama.
Good morning to you. Good morning to you. How we doing?
Oh my goodness. Well, we're having one of those mornings, a lot going on. Let's see. Lot to share, but let's start with you because I feel like it's always been about me.
Oh, it's not true. No, it's okay. You're doing something, so that's awesome. Me this week, my goal was 3 patterns. I got my 3 patterns done, and I had fun doing that. I'm still in catch up on the modules that I've been working on, but I'm doing really good with it.
Okay.
My head's spinning with the designs that I've made so far, and they like it's stuff that I know, and it's just the program. Learning the new program is pretty cool. But yeah, just doing the design. It took all week long. It's amazing how much time it takes to design one pattern. But I'm using what I've created before and just revamping it and changing it and making a pattern out of it. So it's kind of cool. So that's pretty much it with me, in a nutshell, I guess you could say, for the basics. So, all right, there you go. Okay, so now, oh, wait, there was this other thing that, because I'm all over the place and I'm trying to do 500 things at once, and then I shut down and I crash. A friend of mine said to create, like, put your name in the center and just draw like a visual of what you do. And it's a wonder that I crash and wonder why I just shut down, because it's like, talk about overwhelm. So when I created this project, now let's see if I could share that with you on I'll just kind of,
Oh, can you share it with the screen share?
well, it's not on this computer, so it's too detailed, but you can see it now,
I
right?
sure can. Yeah. Okay.
So just,
Looks like a flower. Those are
it's
petals.
insane how much stuff I am doing that is me. And I looked at that and go, okay, wonder why I'm overwhelmed. So I picked one on the project on this whole list, and then I'm focusing and really got to focus in on the one thing. So it was really interesting to learn. And then, you just write like mom, but what does mom entail? So it's like all these little branches that you don't realize that you do. That's part of who you are. But yeah, it's a great little project to do. I recommend it to anybody to do it. It's
So how do we get started? What would be the first step you would take to get this done?
just put your
A
name in
piece
the
of
middle.
paper?
Yep, just a piece of paper and put your name in the middle, put a circle around it and say who are you? And just write down all the things you do, and then keep
So
that broad.
like a rule, like the first thing would be you said mom. What would be another one
Well,
for you?
it's funny how you say who you are as a role.
Yeah.
Who are you? I mean, it's like, what is your passions? What are your, not what you
Yeah.
do. Like, of course, that's
Okay.
what I started with. I did all the stuff that I do at work. And then under that, and what my title is. And then I said, okay, what do I do as that title? And then I branched out to all the programs I'm doing and the things that I'm learning, and then you go on to what do you do at home? Like, I mean, even if it's just, I don't want to say even if it's just, even if you're cooking, what do you do? What, kind of meals that you like, just kind of get to know who you are. And then when you look at it, you can sometimes you can see what's missing. And one thing I noticed in my thing is self-care, and journaling is part of my self-care, but that's all I really do. But in a sense, because I look at my self-care as things that my crafting, and that's taking care of me and playing with my passions of things that I like. So it's a fun little project, and it gets you to learn who you are. And then it also teaches you how how you can identify, like, why do you crash and burn? Why do you, self-doubt? Why do you do this? And I see that I'm definitely squirrely mama for sure, because I'm bouncing in my hands are in every little pot. And so to get more of an expert at one thing versus 500 things, you have to hone it in and then choose what do you keep going back to and what's sitting there dormant. Because a lot of that stuff, after looking at it, I put my hand in it, learned a little bit of it, and then it sat.
Right.
So you never moved on. And then I'm like, so I put little dots on it, said, okay, this is dormant, this is dormant. And I see where I'm working, and I am honing in on the one thing that I want to do for now and learning that, until I master that, then I will move on. But it's hard because it's hard to keep my focus,
Oh
you
my
know,
gosh.
but yeah, it was an interesting project, an interesting lesson, and
What
I've
a
learned a
great
lot.
exercise. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my week, pretty
I
much.
love that. I think that self-discovery is really important. And I'm like, I think I want to do that. But then I'm like, oh, so I'm going to squirrel to go do this project that Doreen just mentioned because I'm so excited about it instead of focusing on, I have to finish this course. I have to finish my certification. I'm interested in this Sell Like a Mother program. So
I did it right before I sat down at bedtime. And I said, okay, after I did all my squirrely stuff and did whatever, I'm like, okay. And I sat down, I said, okay, it's 10 o'clock. I should be sleeping, but I got to just let me sit down and just start writing it. And it was a fun project. And then, of course, I just did broad. And then like a few days later, she's like, no, okay, but what do you do under each of those? And I'm like, oh, well, that's a whole nother. And she's like, just make the project smaller and then go, I did it with Procreate and I wrote it on there. And then I, made it smaller and then put a bigger paper around it and just built on it instead of doing it manually. But I did it only at bedtime. So that way I can just write it down. Then it felt really good to go to sleep seeing that. And it was out of my head. And then I can hone in on taking one thing and then breaking that down. So yeah.
wow, I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah. It's something to do to quiet the noise upstairs. And seeing it on paper, because I push everything off. Like, yeah, I do this, I do that, but I never said it all at once kind of thing. And so seeing you see who you are, like you always kind of, that imposter syndrome, that whole thing, that doubt of who you don't know anything. But if you write it down and you see it in front of you, like, wow, okay, I do know a lot of stuff. My hands are in a lot of things. It just kind of helps you, kind of builds you up, like, yes, I am busy, and it's not busy work, it's stuff that I'm learning or building my tool set of who I am and learning who I am. So yeah, it was fun. It was fun. So
I love fun self-discovery exercises.
yeah, it is.
I thank you so much for sharing that because I think I'll take that on this
All right.
sometime. And I think that's a good one for this week.
I agree with you. Yeah,
And
I think it's a good project. You got
yeah,
to give it a try when you're on downtime and you're not doing
yeah.
whatever. Just start writing and just
All we need is a piece
yeah,
of paper
that's it.
and
Paper.
yeah, and a tool, a
Yeah.
pen.
So,
So, all
all right.
right.
So I
Well,
know you had a busy week. So
oh gosh, I
last
know.
yeah, last week we talked. You were heading into an event.
It was called Experts Connect.
Nice.
And it was rather intimidating at first. In fact, I must admit that I felt very out of place in the beginning. The very first exercise, besides connecting, she built you up. She encouraged you to do all kinds of things during and before the event because it's Experts Connect. So if you take a look at the directory and identify 5 people, then you move forward. And when you get there, you're looking for them. You've already created, you send an email that said, let's get together. And then when you get there, you find those people. Plus,
Okay.
you're given a badge with a ribbon, and that's your group. So you connect with the people in the group, get to know them, you figure out what they do, how you can come together. It was really amazing. I was intimidated by, first of all, the familiarity that so many people had with the others, and I didn't have that. Right? I mean, I was new. So
Right.
I think the first thing I started to do was, and it didn't take long for other people to say, oh, and they introduced themselves to me as well, was first time, how'd you get here? What do you do? Kind of a thing. And there's some questions you can ask. So a little intimidated on the first evening, the welcome, not really knowing what to expect. I talked about I was going in unprepared. This exercise would have been really good before I went in. I think this exercise
Uh,
is so good just before I do anything else.
yeah,
But then that's just another excuse to not get things done. Okay.
right. But that is you getting, but that's not an excuse of you getting things done, because it's teaching you something. It's preparing you. And it's also, like you said, building yourself up.
Yeah.
So you're aware that you're not, um, you have worth no matter what it is. You have
Yeah.
worth,
Yeah.
but you need to see it sometimes, because you don't, because we are our worst critics, right? So learning about yourself is not something that you're squirreling off, and it's not a project to build you up, to walk you into something. So yeah, that would be a great project for you.
Yeah. So
Okay.
was finding out the strengths of the team members, having sales tips, talking to panels of people who have started their business, what was important, everything from hiring somebody to SBA loans to automation to AI, just and they were people from the crowd, right?
Okay.
So and the group was probably 65, maybe
Oh,
66
nice.
women, a couple men, but together 65 attendees and a lot to think about. And if you want to move forward, there's an upsell,
Oh, of course.
right?
Yeah.
But there's also testimony in the crowd of the strengths.
Of the upsell. Yeah.
Absolutely 100%. So, of course, I was in a really different place because I'm an event planner. This is what I do. I'm resourceful. I get things done, and I'm pivoting for a message that I would like to talk and teach.
Share. Yeah.
Yeah, and share and have all these wonderful ideas.
Yeah.
And I was talking two different things at the event. So I had two different resources coming in, including perhaps you can get involved next year with this event when we move to Vegas. Two, love your idea. Aloha means welcome and goodbye. Oh, I'm a senior ombudsman here in San Francisco and would love to connect with you. And perhaps we could do a collaboration of a Zoom to build our list together because
Wow. Nice.
I'm into senior care and I've got way more experience. This is what I'm hearing. And love what you're doing and think that there's a space for all of us. And here's the dynamic and the group of people that if you could determine an offering for this group, any offering in any field for this group of people, it's the future. And I walked away just feeling inspired, and a couple of different things happened to me this weekend through those days was I really was present for the most part. I did not check work, my paying job.
Nice.
Um, you do need to do like you just did, and an exercise that I just heard on the podcast and the club that I belong to, Lydia Martin. I'm happy to shout out to her because I love her. About I got to answer the questions to know why I'm doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Lead me forward. What's my why? We hear that all the
Yeah.
time. But my why is several things, including the energy I got. I still felt I didn't feel small in the room, but I do know I want to grow and I'm looking forward to and already signed up for next year because I did meet women I loved. And
Nice.
I want to be more a part of the experience, but I also want to be a contributor, not somebody and I want to be able to maybe provide what was provided for me, the opportunity to say, you can grow. That's what these things do for you, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and that you have a good idea. And again, potential connection and potential collaborations. And that was a win for me, right?
And also you kind of watched them as well, and how they're presenting and how they're doing things. So you kind of see, what attracts you to these people. Because the energy, everything else that they're presenting to you, right? It's
Yeah.
so
And
helpful to learn from.
and it wasn't corporate.
Nice.
There's a big difference. You know what I mean? Even in just okay, the first day you get your t-shirt and your welcome bag. That's at the welcome reception. The next day we all show up in our t-shirts if you want to be in the photo. So what a great advertise, right? You're going to
Right.
take that and wherever you go.
Right.
Then the second, so the 2 full days and the welcome reception, the second, and then a beach party was the first night. And that was an opt-in.
Okay.
And then not executed to how it was marketed, but as a event coordinator, I can totally go with the flow, knowing that there's a reason for everything,
Right.
right?
Exactly.
And then the second day was dress your personality or whoever you are. And people came in their sweats, they came from their hike, they came nice. So it was it wasn't, oh,
Right.
we got to dress up business casual again.
Right.
And
Right.
that's however you want to represent yourself.
Right.
And it's and a lot of marketing automation.
Nice.
That's what the key is, AI and automation.
That's the big thing now, AI. Yeah.
But not everything, you know what I mean? And it's like, even with the sales thing, you can use it to pitch, but then you got to make it your own. You got to own it. It's a great research tool. And I know that I'm only like asking it simple questions, like, where would I go to find out this? How can I find about, I mean, like, I want to apply for SBA loans. If I can get a business loan to do my business, and what if this is a nonprofit eventually? Because it's an offering that, I don't know. Those are all the questions. And then there's the driving, just get one thing out on the market.
Right.
And I learned and invested in one software, Kajabi. Almost everybody else at this event was doing something else. Funnel growth or something.
Well, the funnel growth, it's almost like it's another word for, I guess the way I look at it is lead magnets.
Yeah.
Right. So it's
Right.
just, it's how you're funneling through
Yeah.
one form to to a workshop, to a group. Yeah.
And I met a woman who does digital clutter cure, similar to what I took.
Right.
One that teaches Google Forms. She has a
Yeah.
really low offer entry, it was about low offer.
You learned a lot. Wow. How exciting. So
Yeah.
how about your list, your emails? So you walked away with using that email.
A couple of times
Okay.
because everybody was in the Facebook group chat.
Oh,
And
okay.
now I have several new friends
Okay, good.
and connections. And I do have some. And the whole thing was, when you meet somebody, take a picture, ask for permission to text them, and then you've opened up that opportunity.
Wow, nice. That's interesting.
Because it's about connections. Everybody is a client connection or a client, a connector, or I got to come up with that third one. But yeah.
Or a friend. Somebody that an accountability partner, another one.
Yeah.
God, it reminds me, like, listening to this, going to those types of events are so uplifting. They're so motivating. You walk away like on a certain high that is like no other.
Yeah.
Of course, everyone that you go to, there's an upsell. I mean, that's just part of the marketing
And that's what
strategy.
that's what we're doing, right?
Right. So it doesn't make a difference if you buy it or not. It's what you get out of it. And it's walking away. And I remember this one, God, I guess it was in Hawaii, I guess, because I was there for so many years. But in the beginning, like in my 20s, going to these marketing things. And I think it was, I can't remember all the different business opportunities that they were offering, but one of them was the gumball machine. And
wow.
you just pick up a gumball machine and and ask
somebody if you could put it in their store.
The candy, and how you make money.
I know
That, but it was such an uplifting marketing strategy, kind of, and of course the upselling, because they want to sell the machines or whatever the case. But it was the business idea of, and how you walk away, and maybe that's that got the wheels turning. Because I mean, I don't know how many of those kind of marketing groups that I've went to, those seminars that you go to in the hotels, and loved every one of them and learned so much from it. And you just want to be around those people 24/7. you
And I
know,
think
'cause,
that's helpful, and that's what we
yeah,
want, that's what we need, you and I need to
yeah,
be for each other, right? We come here, we're like, "Okay, good, let's do this is my
yeah,
progress, I did it."
yeah,
So, my why, in I don't know if you can see this picture, I don't know how I can get it to
yeah,
the
just come close. I see you,
okay,
and I see Route 66, I think. It looks blurry, but no, it's very blurry. You gotta take it back, I guess, into your case, to your face. Almost, but yeah, I kind of see it.
okay, it's a picture of me on the Santa Monica Pier, and
Okay.
it says 66, Route 66, end of the trail.
Ah,
And it's a really awesome photo. I went early in the morning with another gal and connected with another gal while we were down there. And so there was nobody on the pier, like,
nice.
so I got this great picture on the pier in front of that sign with nobody around. And I didn't even realize that, and the moment until I got home and I looked at that picture and I thought, that photo, Santa Monica Pier, it may be the end of the trail, but it's the beginning of a new adventure for me.
Very nice. Yeah. Oh, very nice.
So I'm saying it out loud and I'm speaking my truth at this time. So it's almost like I get anxious because I'm putting it out there and like I have to be accountable because now I'm saying it to the whole world. But I also talked my talk about my intention, what I want to do, essential documents. I, without knowing it, did a mindset coaching with one of the young gals that was there who felt like she was a fraud. She's like, she did a business and had a business idea, but walking around in her head, she was saying, I hope they don't ask me about my business. I hope they don't ask
Uh,
me about my business. And
yeah. Oh
she was
God, I've
sharing
been
with
there.
me,
Yeah.
right? And so she and I were there late at night one night, and we just happened to walk back from the beach together and talking. And she's a mom, and she's a young mom, and she's balancing all kinds of things, two households,
Wow.
children from two households, very close with everybody, split shifts as parents in one, full-time on the other. And there's her strengths. That's her passion. That's what she loves. You can talk to other. We just, and she loved my message kind of,
Yeah.
thing that I was able to apply for myself. And I felt really good about our conversation. And I felt like she walked away with a little more clarity. And all I talked to her, my main message was give yourself permission to change it up, to
Yeah.
pivot, to do
Yeah.
something different. If you're so focused on the fact that you invested the money in the course and you're
Yeah.
working so hard, but it's not coming natural to you, then let it go for a little bit. Maybe
Yeah.
come back to it. However, don't beat yourself up over it. I said, oh my God, the fact that you were saying that to yourself, please, I hope nobody asks me about my business means you're not right with yourself.
Right.
So we were there, tears, hugs. It was really great. And I thought, oh, maybe living real aloha could also be a mindset coach as well. I mean, it's part of, but
For everything.
yeah,
And you're telling her things that you've learned. And this is stuff, that moment of her being where she was, you've been there several times.
that's what
And
I
and
said.
and that's what got you out of it, how you talked yourself out of that emotion into, like, you have to believe in what you do. And if you're not 100%, at least know that what your why is, because that's going to get you to that next level and
Yeah.
push you through.
Yeah.
I mean, that's great. And the main thing is, even if you fail, it's okay, because that was a learning lesson.
Yes.
You just have to put that next step forward
Yeah.
and move forward past that moment.
Yeah.
Not give up, because there's a lot of people that, they buy these courses, and they're thinking about the money, and they're like, oh my God, how am I going to do it? It's okay. It's okay. And it's okay to fail, because that's a lesson. It's what you do with that lesson, right? If you just
Yeah.
say screw it and you just go back to your 9 to 5 and never think about it again, I failed and that's it. That's thrown in the towel, when just right, you're on the that line teetering, right? So it's just a matter of you jumping over that line and moving forward to your real why, to why you're doing this. Oh,
Yeah.
I know, it's so cool, isn't it?
It's fun. It's really
Yeah.
fun. And I
Yeah.
think she walked away better, because another
Good.
lady there had also spoke with her and she mentioned you both have just, asked me the same why or what and how and whatever she got out of it. And then she showed me a picture, there we're all there and we've got whatever image, face, whatever for the first time I'm meeting you. And then she showed me after our whole conversation and she showed me a picture of her and her family. And I just felt like that's who she was.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just looking at that, I'm like, oh my gosh, you're finding yourself, you're doing this, but I'll bet there's so much you can offer and still be this person right here. Anyway, it was really, again, like you said, it's good.
Yeah, a great
Yeah,
experience.
great experience.
You're surrounding yourself with like-minded people.
Okay, here's one more thing I did today. I've been going. I was at
Today.
this program
Okay.
today already. So Friday, let's see, I'm reclaiming my life from my current work day,
Okay.
right? I'm reclaiming who I am. I have missed out on a lot of opportunities because I'm working
I know, right? Yes.
and I'm done. That's what else this thing did for me,
That's
is
all.
because in order to move forward, I cannot always be. And remember the conversation that I didn't have a couple of months ago?
Yes. Oh, you did?
No.
Oh,
Remember I had a conversation and then we didn't never had the conversation?
okay. I thought you did have the conversation.
Yes, but at the end, in
It
order
never
to move
happened.
forward, we never had this conversation.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna see what I can doable, no promises.
And
Crickets. Nothing. I haven't heard anything, seen anything, done anything. And I
which
can't
speaks
have a
volumes.
conversation about a conversation I didn't have.
Well, you can have another conversation about something you didn't have by confronting this person and have another conversation, but why should you have to?
So then I'm moving on. I'm
Yeah,
reclaiming my life. It doesn't matter. And
it
even if
doesn't.
it happens, my why is why I'm moving forward.
Yeah. You
So I'm
have a mission
complete
and yeah, it doesn't make a difference what offer they give you.
anymore. No,
Yeah,
I'll be grateful and accepting. However,
a
I
little bit late.
really and so today it's like I want 50 hours. You can have 50 hours a week. That's what I will work in order to not make less than what I feel my value is. Does that make sense?
No. So
The
what
more
is 50
hours I
hours?
work, the less money I make
Yeah.
per
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, 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 no.
okay? And seriously, I've been living and breathing my work, my daytime job, and I just want to live more of my values. And
Yeah.
so, because the more hours I give them, the less money I make, if that
And it
makes
takes
sense.
from you. Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
it's nobody's fault but my own.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
okay, so going back to this decision that I made within this last week, within the last 72 hours or so, is that I'm up at an event, set it up, looks good, hung out most of the day, took a long lunch to visit a friend in the neighborhood, something and someone I haven't seen for a while that I love and adore and glad I took the time because nobody really missed me.
Right.
And my role is done and I'll go up and I can go up and clean up, but I don't necessarily have to. So I was supposed to be up there by 9:30 or 10 o'clock this morning. And then I got up late last night when I was looking at my schedule. I'm like, well, how am I going to do that with my 9 o'clock podcast? And I got to do other things. And I've been on the road and I want to spend time with here. And this afternoon, I want to go to the Tulip Festival with some friends. So I sent an email to the other manager up there and said, hey, got a few things I'm going to take care of. So I'm not going to be up there first thing this morning.
And what were
And
you going up there for? Closing down, shutting down?
support.
Oh, yeah, you don't need to be doing that. You already did support. You gotta let go of some of this.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I said, hey, so, this is what I need to do. And, he's like, hey, no problem, Heidi. If you want us to take it from here today and tomorrow, we can. we got this. Cause I'm like, you're in good hands. The team's got this. So he even gave me permission, and I said, I'll check in later instead of saying, sounds like a good idea. But if I don't have to,
You
I
got to
have to
define
let
that a little bit
go.
better. Yeah, you got to define that a little better. And if your goal is what you're saying is in the near future, then you need to let go and let others.
Yeah.
So that way that life can move on after, and knowing that you're walking away, not leaving them blind, but leaving them comfortable and confident.
Yeah, they got this and it's all set up and be busy or not busy, but I'm just, I can be more productive doing other things and still be supportive.
Yeah.
So, and then also enjoy some time
Yeah. Yeah.
so I can focus and be refreshed. Like I'm gonna spend today. My friends are gonna leave about 4 o'clock to go to the Tulip Festival, and so I can meet them up there, or I can go for the ride and have more quality time with them, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's what I want to do.
Then don't think, just do. Just do. Key words there.
Yeah.
Well, I think we are doing amazing things. I think that we are such in a different mindset, and we're focused and we're doing something about it. And yeah, who knows where it's going to take us, but I don't see it. We're not falling behind. We are where we're supposed to be and we're moving forward. So
Yeah. Yeah. And I like just parting words in order to work with this coach, because she's got a couple of things, like even like I looked at the mindset and the, individual event that she's planning, the high ticket mastery class.
it's all in the words that gets you hook, line, and sinker.
And the testimony of people that stood up and said, you'll make that money back in 6 months, easy.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think about, like, I remember when mom years ago said, you just need a 9 to 5, Doreen. Stop trying to build something. You just need a 9 to 5. Stop being your own boss. And it always drove me nuts. And I wanted to, and I wish, or it doesn't make a difference what I wish, here I am. I'm right where I'm supposed to be. So all those years listening to that, and you hear that, if you don't take a chance on yourself, who else will? Yes, okay, 9 to 5 gets you the security that, when you're retired, you put money into it, but you can do that as a business owner. You can do that as an entrepreneur. You just have to just organize yourself better. But okay, maybe I wasn't at that point that I was in entrepreneurship, but I think I was an entrepreneur all through the years, no matter what, because of what I used to do. And even though I work full time, I still never let that go because I knew there's something there. So you taking that step, and even I mean, where we met from when we were 21 to where we are now, and we're still talking about this, we're at that step for our next part of our life for ourselves. And we're comfortable enough because of where the path that we were on. I think it's exciting. I don't know. I don't know where I was just thinking of my mom with the 9 to 5. And that's just that mindset of old
It
school.
is. And but that's in your back of your head. Those are some of the messages we've been fed that we're fighting. And I think that's part of mindset coaching, to talk about those things. So here we are doing it, without the official certs or whatever they're talking about, but real life experiences.
Exactly. And it's a process. You got to talk through
Oh
it.
my gosh.
And
Yes,
having
you do.
somebody
Every time.
accountable,
Yeah.
holding yourself and us meeting and talking this through is so
Yes.
helpful.
Yeah. I'm really going to work on that. Actually, I have like a flower or something that one of the gals did in our
It's kind of the same thing. And
remember?
just,
Karen,
and I
yeah,
remember the
Karen
same
did
thing.
it.
Yeah.
Yes. In
Wherever it takes
um
you, just kind of, yeah. I know, of course, of perfectionism, you want to keep cleaning it up, but I'm like, no, it's a mess. I need to keep going and build off of that. Because when I think of something, oh yeah, I didn't write that, I'm adding to it. Because it really helped me. It really helped me. And yeah, going and branching off of that is only a tool that helps me day to day. So anyway, we're coming to an end.
all right. Good talk.
Good talk. Yeah. And that's our life in a nutshell. I've
Yes, that is our life in a nutty nutshell.
nutty nutshell. All righty.